Good evening, good evening. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of the Real Talk Sports Show. This is our high school football review and preview, or preview and review. Give me a little bit of the highlights and the scores from last weekend's games, and then giving you a preview of the upcoming game that we're scheduled to cover, which will be the Mount Zion Bulldogs versus the Morrow Mustangs. That's our game for the week. And so we look forward to having the coaches and maybe a couple of players on from each of those teams to give a quick little update on kind of how they're faring through this basically now first two games of a unusual season, one to remember. Certainly we're dealing with coronavirus and all the things that are coming along with it. So we're going to be talking with the coaches on how they have fared so far the first two games, and also going to be talking to hopefully some of the players, talk about how they're getting along here in the first season ever where guys have to worry about dealing with a pandemic in the middle of the football season. Again, you listen to the Real Talk Sports Show, and we are a proud broadcaster of the Clayton County High School Game of the Week as it's broadcast from the Tara Stadium, and our premier sponsor for that, presented by Allen Vigil Ford in Lincoln. They're located at 6790 Mount Zion Boulevard in the city of Morrow, Georgia. And so we thank God for them. Thank God for Mr. Vigil and his support of the broadcast. And like I said, again, it is great that we're able to bring you this each and every week. And what we're going to look to do is bring you, like I said, a recap and previews and review of last week's game. Speaking of last week's game, last week we actually played Morrow versus, let's get this right, Morrow versus Forest Park. It was a good game. Back and forth it went. A lot of activity. A lot of scoring. Final score of that game was Morrow 36, Forest Park 21. We want to give a big shout out to all the people that watched us on social media, especially people who watch us on YouTube, because what we do is we actually will share your comments. If you come on and talk about your favorite team, we'll actually share the comments and put it actually right on the screen so people can see it. So it's pretty cool stuff. So again, check us out. Every Friday night, we do the Clayton County High School Game of the Week. Last week's final score was Morrow 36, Forest Park 21. That was the final of that game. Like I said, again, we're going to hopefully bring on the coaches from Mount Zion and Morrow, who are this week's contestants in the game of the week at Tara Stadium. Again, tune in here to this page on Friday night. Game kickoff at 7:30. We live stream the entire broadcast from start to finish, and we also will be doing the same thing on YouTube as well. So there are some people I know that don't have a Facebook page. No problem. We're on YouTube. We're also on Periscope. Big shout out to everybody that's watching on the Periscope replay. Welcome, replay viewers. We appreciate you and appreciate all those of you who share this broadcast. Like I say again, we're waiting for our guests for the evening. We have invited both the head coaches and the some of the players from Mount Zion High School, the Bulldogs, and the Morrow Mustangs. They are contestants on our game of the week next week. So hopefully they'll be joining us later on in the broadcast. As you can see down the bottom of the screen, last week game that we did was Morrow actually won the game 36-21 over the Forest Park Panthers. Morrow's defense was really the key. Had a couple of big turnovers, a pick six, and constantly made plays to keep their team in outstanding field position. So big kudos and shout outs to the guys from Morrow. Like I said, again, we hope to have them on the broadcast, sometime in the next 10 or 15 minutes or so. Those guys are actually still practicing. So they're just finished up practice. So we thank God they decided to come on and join us on the broadcast right after practice, which is a pretty cool thing. Remember, guys, if you want to be a part of this, helping us to bring high school football to your screens, please, sir, get in contact with me. I will put my information on the screen. I'm at 678-410-9833. Love to have you be a part of our broadcast. As you can see, we have a ticker that will go across. You can be a part of that as part of your broadcasting. We also have the up in the upper right-hand corner, you can see the logo. Hopefully I can point it out there. There it is in the upper right-hand corner. See the logo? That could be your logo right there. And again, very, very nominal fee to do that. Give me a call, 678-410-9833. Love to have you join us and be a part of the broadcast. Again, this is our review and preview of the week, high school game of the week. We do Clayton County High School, and we cover it from Tara Stadium. So those of you who are familiar with Tara Stadium, it is located right in Jonesboro, right off of, or actually technically right on Battle Creek Road. So if you're available on Friday night, come out and support the kids. I shouldn't say, oh, time out, time out, time out. Don't want to get ahead of the game. Technically speaking, you have to be part of the friends of the family group of the players. Each players is allowed to bring friends and family and have 4 tickets to come see the game. Now, I will tell you, initially, we were told that there were going to be no fans at the game until October. So we were actually kind of surprised that they had fans from the opening bell. Very first game, there were probably about 150 people in on both sides of the stadium. And we got a chance to broadcast the game live. And we actually had fans, alumni, supporters of Jonesboro and Mount Zion tune in to the tune of almost 3,000 people have watched that broadcast now. So again, we're very, very excited that we are the official Friday Night Lights live video stream for any games played at Tara Stadium. So if you are a Mount Zion grad, if you're a Forest Park grad, if you are a Jonesboro grad, all your games, your home games, of course, are played there. So, come on out and support. Make sure you check with the players because, again, they will have 4 tickets they can pass out. One of the things that I thought about, as we were there and seeing the people out there, is kind of what's your thoughts? I mean, do you think that the fans should be at the high school football games already? Do you think the players should be playing? Love to get some comments from you and let me know what you think about that. Should the players be out there? Should they be playing right now? And should there be any fans out there for high school football? We know a lot of you guys have already told me in previous weeks you would not go out to any professional game. I'm just curious, would you come out and support your high school team, especially, let's say you had kids. Would you come out to see your child play in a high school football game if you were allowed to do so? Go ahead and log on, put your comments on social media. We'll pop them up on the screen so everybody can see them. Again, the question is, would you go see your child play a high school football game? In fact, I'll pop that up on the screen right now. Would you go see your child playing a game? That's what I type on the screen. Would you see your child play high school football in person? That's a big question. I'd like to get some feedback from you. Let me know what you think. Do you think you would do it? Would you even allow your kids to play? I mean, I had some people say, hey, man, I wouldn't even allow my child to play. So I'm going to ask you right now, put up on the screen, would you go see your child play high school football in person? That's the big question. Let me know. Would you do it? Would you do it, ma'am or sir? And let's pop it up here. Would you go see your child play a high school football game? I'd like to know. Put it in the comments, and we will be more than happy to pop your comments on the screen. We do an interactive show, so we really look forward to seeing what you, the viewer, and the listener has to say about it. But there it is. You see it up on the screen again. Would you go see your child play high school football? Because I will tell you that people were out. I mean, people were out. They were out and about. Like you said, you probably had about 200 people in the stands on either side. The other thing that was kind of interesting, the concession stands were open. I didn't think they were going to do that. And I know the concession stands, I guess they have packaged stuff like packaged chips and things, but the concession stands were open too. Ooh-wee. Just saying, it was all very, very interesting to kind of see that. But again, we'd love to get your comments, what your thoughts are. Would you go see your child play a high school football game? Please put your comments in the comment section, and we'll pop them up on the screen. Love to hear your reply about it. Again, we're waiting for our guest for the evening, Morrow High School, and also we're waiting for Mount Zion to see if they can make it. Interesting enough, these guys actually practice into the evening because obviously here in Georgia, it's very, very hot during the day. So they try to really make it easy for the kids. They start the practice very late and they get off very late, sometime around 7:30 or 8 o'clock. So hopefully they'll be able to join us here on the broadcast and pop in and be a part of it. Love to get your comments and feedback. Again, the question of the day right now is, would you go see your child play a high school football game? That's the question, boys and girls. Would you do it? I'd love to know, love to get feedback from you. As again, we wait for our guests for the evening. We've invited the 2 teams that are playing this week, which is Mount Zion and Morrow. We've invited their coaches and some of their players to come out and talk to us. The interesting thing about, again, trying to do this during a pandemic is just watching kind of the people, the dynamic. The good news is there have been lots of testing. So far, have there been some positive tests? Absolutely. But the good thing is that so far we've had no student athlete get sick to the point where they had to be hospitalized that I'm aware of. And in fact, one of the young men from Mount Zion, when I asked him about, how the COVID had affected his preparation, he not startled me, but he took me by surprise. He said, "Well, sir, I'm okay now." I'm like, "Hmm?" And he said, "Yeah, he had the COVID. He actually had it, went through the COVID protocol and was cleared to play in the very first game of the season and acquitted himself quite well." So the good news is, folks, is that even though you have a lot more positive tests because you do have more testing now, that you do have young people who are able to not only survive it, but they're able to recover and get back out there and play. So that's really good news for us to hear across the country, especially here in Georgia, where high school football is a big, big, big deal. A lot of high schools played, and we had people out and about, and there apparently was no ill effects up to this point. Now, I know that these things take a couple of weeks for anything to show up. Hopefully nothing shows up. Hopefully everybody is well, and there's no problem at all. So again, we were pleasantly surprised to see people out. We've also been encouraged by the good news of people getting the COVID-19, but recovering and being able to get back there out on the playing field. So we are, again, feeling very, very good about that and very, very happy if they're able to do so. Again, you're watching the Real Talk Sports Show as we broadcast to you from the lockdown living room here, located just outside of Atlanta, Georgia, about 20 miles away. We're hoping that we can get our guests from the evening to come on and say a few words for us. Again, we invited the head coaches from both Mount Zion and Morrow to come in briefly after their practice and join us. And we hope that they're going to be able to do so very, very shortly. Speaking of shortly, we're going to take a quick little break. You're watching the Real Talk Sports Show, high school review and preview, and we'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
All right, boys and girls, we're back here, friends and citizens, on the Real Talk Sports Show, our high school review and preview. And like I said again, hopefully we can have our guests to come on and join us here, which is the head coach from Mount Zion High School, head coach from Morrow High School, and hopefully they'll be able to join us here really briefly because they're already they've been practicing all day. And I got to tell you, man, I mean, it's they start the practice at night, but it's still kind of rough. So. We thank God for them. Hopefully, they'll be able to join us. We can see some guys popping into our virtual green room. So hopefully, we'll be able to get them on the air in just a moment. Once I can see them up on the screen in the green room, we will bring them on the air to let them talk to you about, again, getting ready for this week's game. Mount Zion is playing Morrow High School. And like I said, again, we're going to try to bring, I think I have the coach from Mount Zion in the green room. I'm going to see if I can bring him on the screen. Let's see here. Coach, are you there? Not yet. Okay, so we'll wait for him to kind of pop back onto the screen. We can get him on here. And hopefully the coach from Morrow High School will join us as well to talk to you a little bit about, kind of the first two games, kind of dealing with, getting teams ready to play in the middle of a pandemic and what has been the sensibilities and their feeling about the first two games of the season. Are they pleased that they're able to have some fans? Are they pleased so far with what they've been able to do, considering these guys have had limited practice, and what some of the challenges have been as far as getting their teams ready to play? So again, we have Coach Davis somewhere in the virtual green room. We're trying to get him up. Coach may have to actually log off and log back in. Coach, try that because right now we are still not seeing you or hearing you on the screen. So hopefully, Coach Davis, who's the new head coach at Mount Zion High School, Florida State Seminole. I see him in the virtual green room, but it kind of reminds me, guys, of Star Trek. For those of you who watched the original Star Trek, they would have the transporter. They would get in. You see, basically, their particles would like disappear and then be transported to the next place. That's what it seems like. The coach's particles are there, but he hasn't fully transported into the live show. So hopefully, we can somehow or another get him in there I'm going to ask him, Coach, if you can hear me. You're going to have to log off and log back in so we can get you on to the show. Like I said, guys, let's go and do this here. We're waiting for Coach. Let's take a look at what happened this past week around Metro Atlanta, especially dealing with the schools from Clayton County. They had there's a big event that they have with high school football to start the year. One of them is called the Corky Kell Classic that involves 16 teams. They play in cross regional games. And then they have another thing called the Bash, which is a showdown between Metro Atlanta schools and Clayton County schools. 4 teams square off, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But I think the transporter has finally worked. I believe I have the head coach from Mount Zion in the virtual green room. Let's hit him here. Coach, are you there?
Oh, yeah. How you doing?
He's in the building. Coach, I'll tell you about, it's like the old Star Trek, the transporter, you see the particles come, and all of a sudden it's like, we can't get him. We can't get him. And that's what it was like. I kind of like saw you for a second, and you went ghost. And I said, oh, I have to turn the transporter on high to get Coach back in here. Well, Coach, listen, man, again, great to have you back on the program to join us. Thankfully that you guys were able to get in after practice. First of all, before we go any further, I want to do this. I want to kind of go back just a little bit. You guys played in our opening game, and it was a tremendous game. You guys played against Jonesboro, and we handed out, as you know, for the very first time, a defensive player of the game and an offensive player of the game. But I also would be remiss if I didn't do something a little different. I actually selected a player of the game, and that actually went to your quarterback. I'm going to flash his stats up on the screen right now for everybody to see here. Young Mr. Brett was a one-man wrecking crew, 21 carries, 205 yards. So we want to give kudos to him because he is actually our overall player of the game for the first game of the season at Tara Stadium. So congratulations to you and congratulations to him.
Appreciate it. Thank you. He did a great job, and he kept us in the game and, got down to those last 17 seconds, and, it didn't go our way, but he did a tremendous job of just leading our program that night. And, again, we're talking about building our program, and that's what we're doing. I thought when we played Jonesboro was a great way to start pouring and laying that foundation for us. So did a great job, and here he is right here.
All right. Well, listen, I'm glad you're able to come on, Thark. I mean, you just were. I wish I could have replayed the comments because I had the coach from Jonesboro on talking about it, and he said basically they were trying to do everything they could to stop you, and literally you guys just ran out of time because you actually had a masterful drive, got the team down, as your coach said, to the 17-yard line. How pleased with your overall play and being able to bring your team and put them on your shoulders in that game?
I mean, I played well, but I believe I could have played better to put us on top. But like Coach said, things just didn't go our way. Wish we had more time, but
Well, like I said, you did a phenomenal job. Anytime you have the opposing coach still talking about you after they won the game, you know that you really did a great game. Is there any player that you pattern yourself that's in the NFL now that you say, listen, I try to pattern my game after that player?
I pattern myself, DeAndre Hopkins. I like the way he played, I like the way he handled himself, tough situations. He go-to guy on this team, 99% of the time, 90% of the time, he making the play when they come to him. That's what I like to do. Like when he's something done, I'm that type of player to get it done. So DeAndre Hopkins in the NFL.
I like that. So for your thing is more, but not so much the position, but really you like the fact that you're a playmaker. Well, let's go to your position. Is there any quarterback that you really like to watch playing NFL who you say, hey, I kind of like his game and like to maybe get my game similar to his?
I like Lamar Jackson, because actually that's who everybody compare me to now. So, I actually do like Lamar Jackson. He made plays just as well. The time of need, he made the play. He throw it here and there. I threw it here and there in the game.
Well, now, as far as speaking of the game, play calling, do you have any liberty to call your own plays or audible, or pretty much you going by the coach's script?
I go by coach's script, but he did give me a chance to call an audible if I see something, then if I see it, go to it now. If we have a certain play call, then run that play.
Gotcha. And just what do you have certain keys? I know when you guys do game film preparation, there's always, it seems like, certain keys that you're looking for on defense. So for you to call an audible, what would you maybe kind of see that you would say, okay, I got to change this play?
Got a defender playing about to 15 yards backer inside the box, trying to contain me. So, hey, get the ball out there now.
Like you said, man, you did a phenomenal job, and you really were very, very exciting to watch. And so we look forward to you doing your thing against Morrow. So, and watching the game film of Morrow so far, what have you seen that you think is going to be the most challenging for you as you get ready to play this game on Friday night?
Nothing. My honest opinion, nothing much really. So, I come out here and just execute.
So for you, it's really not so much what the other team does; it's just your ability to make the plays that you need to make in order to win the ball game.
Yes, sir.
Listen, man, I like you said again, it's just great to kind of see your energy. I asked a couple of players this, as far as this is unique. I mean, the one thing you'll be able to say, no matter how your season goes, that you are part of a very unique class that had to basically execute their football season in the middle of a pandemic. How has that affected you as far as your preparation, for this upcoming season?
The pandemic, yeah, it was a major setback actually, but just a little adversity. We just got to bounce back from it. Just kept us out the little weight room, building our body strength. But
and how did it affect you? I know as a quarterback, a lot of times you guys have to practice your rhythm and your timing with your receivers. Did it disrupt that much, or were you able to do some work on your own with your guys to kind of keep that rhythm together?
I mean, actually, we did do some on our own time, but yeah, it does actually mess up because we don't get to go out there every time we want to go out there, so it does throw off a little timing with my receivers. But coach give us enough time at practice every day to get some passes in with them, so our time is to be clicking a bit.
Well, again, like I said, it was great to watch you play. We look forward to seeing you guys continue to grow your game. You got a coach here, a guy that's played under one of the greatest coaches of all time, and Coach Bobby Bowden, plays for a legendary program at Florida State. And how does that affect you as far as looking forward to know, hey, we got a guy that knows how to win and comes from a winning program?
It doesn't affect.
Yes, I mean, for you, how good is it to have a coach? I know Coach Kevin Jones from last year, great guy himself, but what does it mean to you as a player to have a coach that's been brought in, that's had experience playing with such a great team like Florida State?
Okay. Feels good to me, actually. Have it coming in, come from a winning program. I could tell, he changing the environment over here in Mount Zion. So, we got the winning mentality in him. We trying to bring it out of us. It's actually great, actually. So it's really good for me and the rest of the team. He did a great job right so far.
Of course, sounds like so far so good. I'm gonna ask both of you guys this. So now, how pleased were you to see fans in the stands? Because originally we were told as the broadcaster, hey, you're not gonna have no fans out there. I got there for the opening game. I said, where are these people going? And so we did have some fans. What does it mean to you guys to actually be able to at least have some people in the building?
Actually, like the fans, glad. Really was just family members that could come.
Sure.
Glad to have my family there. Everybody else family there to watch them play as well. So I love the world of crowd. I like the world of crowd. The crowd, get everybody hyped up. But
I thought it was good to see people out there. Coach, what do you think? Does it having the guys out there, having their family and friends, how key was that as far as making this part of the experience of high school? Because some of these guys, this is their senior year.
I think it was awesome because I think at the end of the day, for our kids, they deserve to have their parents and loved ones have an opportunity to come see them play. And I think it gives you that extra experience. Like, again, high school football in Georgia is big. And I think everyone loves to come to games and enjoy that time. It's truly family time. So I think the opportunity the opportunity that the school board allowed for those kids to have that moment back was awesome. And I think it's going to only continue this week here versus Morrow. So I know.
No doubt. Like I said, we look forward to being out there. One of the things that we do is a little different. I'll tell everybody, please tune in to the broadcast. I'm going to go ahead and pop up where you can watch it. If you go to our page, it's Real Talk Sports TV on YouTube. So what we do is we actually do an interactive broadcast. When your friends or family log on to the broadcast, either whether it be YouTube, if they put a comment in and shout you out, we actually make that part of the broadcast and put that on the screen.
Nice.
Now, last week it was off the chain. We had guys coming in from Forest Park who were alumni, and they were like, I even had some lady that tuned in, and she mentioned that she was a alumni of 1966, and she was watching her Panthers still play. So just let you guys know that when the county puts this out, alumni from all over the country are able to watch this. So you may not have 1,000 people in the stands, but you got thousands watching you to the broadcast. So again, man, we're just excited that we're able to do this. We're excited that you guys are able to take time out after practice. I know it's tough when you've been, doing stuff all day, practicing, and now got to sit down and talk with a guy like me. But that's why we're very appreciative of what you're doing. Again, Coach, kudos to you as you continue to grow this program. And young Mr. Brett, we look forward to getting out there and seeing you do your thing again on Friday night. Guys, look, man, again, we appreciate you so much, and we look forward to having you back on with us again. We are be covering all the games at Tara Stadium, so I know you guys have to play a couple more times in the stadium, so we'll have you back on again every time.
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and thank you for doing right by our kids and giving them the opportunity to get this live stream on YouTube so everybody can see them. I think it's great for our kids this year because of the pandemic, and again, we just look forward to working with you guys and seeing you guys on this Friday.
Absolutely. All right, Coach, take it easy. And young Mr. Brett, you take it easy as well. God bless you both.
All right, thanks so much. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, that was quarterback from Mount Zion, electric last week in the game against the opening game against Jonesboro. Phenomenal game. Stats where I'm going to pop them up on the screen again. He had 21 carries for 205 yards and a touchdown, and actually led his team on an attempt to tie the game, drove the ball down all the way down to the 17-yard line. And actually, he was tackled on the final play of the game as he was trying to get out of bounds to get one more play. So, some great football being played. So far, so good. Everybody's safe. So far, so good with the fans at least entering the building and the stadium, I should say, with their mask on. They do have a concession stand open, so the kids can eat and drink, which kind of lends to the atmosphere. I'm just hoping that everybody stays safe, everybody stays strong, and that we'll be good to go. Let's go again now and just give you some updates on some scores here from last week. As I mentioned, they had a big showdown between Clayton County and Atlanta Public Schools, and it was 4 teams. And let's get some of the scores up here that we were able to get off of our score dating here. One of them was they had a game, Raiders versus Raiders, as the Mays Raiders, being the APS school, game was held in Atlanta, hosted the Riverdale Raiders, and it was, as expected, knockdown, drag out of 2 teams going at it, both Raiders. But the Mays Raiders, 35, the Riverdale Raiders, 28. Another tight game was one of the top teams in the state and certainly one of the top teams on the south side, the Lovejoy Wildcats, in a squeaker, knocking off Carver 27-26. Other games, the Eagles had a showdown. Eagles versus Eagles, North Clayton Eagles versus the Best Academy Eagles. And once again, Atlanta Public Schools showed up big. Best Academy pitched a shutout, 26-0 over the North Clayton Eagles. And the final game on that slate was, no, those all 4. I'm so sorry. That was all 4 games. Again, let's review them again. Raiders against Raiders. Mays knocks off Riverdale 35-28. The Lovejoy Wildcats hold on to knock off Carver 27-26. And the North Clayton Eagles go down, being shut out by the best Eagles, 26-0. So that's your wrap up of last week. And from our game that we covered, a great game. Final score was Morrow 36, Forest Park 21. Again, the final score of the game that we covered, game of the week at Terra Stadium, was Morrow High School 36 and the Forest Park Panthers 21. Great game. Really, the Morrow defense stepped up big, had a pick six in that game, and that was really the key for them. Their defense was moving all over the field and really pretty much kept the Forest Park Panthers contained. They did it. I'll give the Panthers credit. They stayed with it. They had a couple of big plays. Actually, had cut the lead to 28-21. And at one point, had a lead early by 1 point. But again, turnovers, big plays by the Morrow defense ruled the day. Well, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. We appreciate those of you who logged on to watch us here in this very brief preview and review of high school football. Again, our game of the week next week coming up on Friday night, 7:30 p.m. on Real Talk Sports TV. That's our YouTube page. So actually just put in Real Talk Sports and you'll find us. And the game will be broadcasting live on YouTube. Also be here live on our Real Talk Sports page here on Facebook. And also it will be live on Periscope, which is considered Twitter TV. Again, if you want to follow me on social media, here's how you do it. You follow me personally at Mr. J Sim. You can also follow us the show at Real Talk Sports 7. Love to have you be a part of our partnership here as we broadcast high school football. We will certainly put your logo up here on the screen. I'll show you how it works. Mr. Alan Vigil is one of our premier sponsors. And so let me show you how we set up the branding here for him. And you guys could be a part of this as well. Up in the upper right-hand corner, you will see our logo. Our logo will be replaced with the Alan Vigil logo or your logo. And that will be that way throughout the game. We also will do a ticker tape on the bottom as well, which you can see scrolling underneath, talking about the Bass Sports. But during the game, this is what it looks like. It talks to you, says, hey, Clayton County High School Football presented by Alan Vigil Ford and Lincoln, located at 6790 Mount Zion Boulevard in Morrow, Georgia. That could be you on the ticker. That could be your message. We would love to have you join us as we do everything we can to support the kids here on Clayton County and Atlanta Public Schools. We're looking to give you more and more high school football and let these young men have a chance that you can meet them via this virtual or live telecast from the lockdown living room just 20 miles southeast of downtown Atlanta, Georgia. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Appreciate you for joining us. Remember, this week, Friday night, 7:30 p.m., it is Morrow High School versus the Forest Park Panthers. All right, guys, until next time, God bless you and have a great night. So long.